My name is Amy with My Plant Passion. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Today I'm going to discuss how I water my orchids and how I feed them. I'm using distilled water, and I also use a distiller, a water distiller. And so let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and pour this in here. And I'm going to have to mix my feed. Now I don't like to water my orchids. I like to dunk them and soak them. That way I never over water them, because that is one of the biggest things that orchids have issues with, is overwatering. They don't like to sit in water. Here is just 1 teaspoon of the feed. Whoop. Didn't expect it to splash up on me like that, but okay. Okay, I'm gonna just mix it really, really good. And I may need to get a different kind of utensil to mix it. Actually, it's mixing pretty good right now. It's a very pretty bright blue color. Okay, here we go. Get that nice and mixed. Okay, and I always use room temperature because they do not like cold water. They're tropical plants, so they don't like ice cubes. I never give them ice cubes. The reason for that is because it can burn their roots, and you don't want to do that. Some people swear by the ice cube method. I've never used it. As long as you treat water them once a week, you're good. Also, when you notice the roots start turning instead of a green to like a white silvery, that means they need water. And we're gonna go ahead and I took it out of the pot. This is the little pot that has the holes in it. I'm gonna go ahead and dunk it and let it really capture that water and let it soak. And I may need a little bit more water. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more water to that. Use some more water. This is all kind of a guesstimate. There we go. As long as it covers there and then really, really soaks it. I like to get the leaves wet too, or the roots here. Kind of soak it. There we go. It's getting nice and soaked. And also, I try to be careful not to get these wet like I just did. You need to really wipe them down really good. Try to keep the core from getting soaked. Just let it soak in there a few minutes, and that's all you do. Let it drain really, really, really good. And this is, for me, this is the best way to do it, so I'm not overwatering my plants, because I tend to love my plants too much. And if I do that, I end up really overwatering them. There we go. Okay, and I've got 3 more orchids to do this. So we'll go ahead and get this situated here. I'm gonna put him back in, her back in the pot. Okay, got that. And it does need a little bit of love because it's starting to lose its flowers. But okay, I'm gonna get a paper towel and wipe that off really quick because I do not want it soaking into the leaves. Okay, just give it a nice, and then make sure underneath is dry, because it can really cause a lot of problems if it's not. Okay, and sometimes you'll have them turn yellow. The bottom leaves turning yellow is okay as long as your other leaves are actually strong and healthy and bright and dark green. So there we go. That looks good. I'm gonna put him aside, or her. Okay, we're gonna put him aside right over here. And then on to the next one. This is one of the first ones I got. It bent right here, so I had to cut that. But we'll go ahead and do this too. Go ahead and put that in there. And just let it soak. And with this one, its leaves are not too there. Let it soak really good. And really the only time you want to like repot your plant, maybe every 1 or 2 years. You don't need to do it too often. Make sure you get a good medium. The bark works the best for me because it doesn't suffocate the roots. And I also do not cut any roots that are growing out because they're made to do that. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and dry that off too, right here. Make sure it's dry. These are very finicky when it comes to temperature too. So always make sure it's room temperature, and that's why I do not use ice. Because if they are finicky when it comes to room temperature, they're going to be finicky when it comes to their watering. And I don't pretend to know everything about orchids because I don't, but I do recommend using distilled water because the tap waters can be very, very harsh on them, and it just does not, it can really damage your orchid. So there's that. She is ready to go. And I'd recommend doing this once a week. You don't have to feed it once a week. They recommend feeding it about once a month. Okay, and here's one of my favorites, my pretty one. This one is pretty healthy. Go ahead and throw that away and get a new paper towel. Okay, and I'll let you see the flowers here. Okay, let's see here. There. How beautiful they are. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing. Grab it out of the lid and then just let her soak for a few seconds. You can let it soak for a couple minutes if you want, if they're extra dry. And I'm also gonna keep this water because I like to recycle my water. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it back when I'm finished, put it back in the gallon and then put orchid water on there. That way I don't get it mixed up because I have tons more plants that I also feed and I also water. And I like to keep with the same kind of water for orchids and keep it separated. That way other plants don't get the minerals and the food that orchids require. So that is good. Let it soak. Okay. That is really good. No leaves are wet, so I'll go like that. Make sure all the leaves are dry. Okay. I have a new little node starting. This was not there a few days ago. So things that are growing are very healthy, and that's brand new. So. Okay, that one is done, and then I've got one more, and this one I got recently. This is the most recent one that I have, and it does not have an actual pot, like one of those plastic pots. So I have to dunk the entire thing in here like so. And I'll go ahead and try to really soak that really good and maybe tip it. There we go. Make sure that leaf doesn't get in there. Okay. Just let that one soak a little bit more because it doesn't have that nice pot. Eventually I'm going to buy a pot for this and put it in, probably replant it because I don't like the way it's just sitting in there like that. I like having the plastic pot so I can take out and really view the roots. It's one way to really see how healthy your orchid is too. And go ahead and let that drain out, and I put it in a terracotta plate that helps soak it up. There, it looks pretty good to me. And so I'll just go ahead and grab that, put this over here. I'll show you all my orchids that I have so far, and I'm probably gonna get quite a few more because I love orchids. They're one of my favorite plants and flowers. They're so beautiful. Okay, so there is that. Go ahead and wipe that off a little bit, the leaves. Okay, that one is leaning pretty good, so we'll have to, there we go. Okay, here is this one. Beautiful, beautiful leaves. And then this was one of my first ones, the dark purple. And then the yellow. And the yellow is going to be dropping some of their flowers, but there we go. So that's how I water my orchids. I'm gonna go ahead and store this water back into this little pot and then put it back in here, right here. And then when I water them again, I'll probably water them in this water. Don't think you can feed them too terribly much, but once a month they recommend it, but I'm just gonna still recycle this water. So thank you so much for watching my channel today. So remember, for your mind, body, and soul, to play in the dirt. Thank you again for watching. Bye for now.